Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. What's going on YouTube? It is a good day here on the Aviator 268 channel. I want to welcome you back to another stream here as we try out this new airplane. It's been a little bit since we had a last stream, but it is good to be here for a little while. We are in the Airbus A380 or fly-by-wire, and it is the native version to the 2024 Microsoft Flight Simulator Sim. People might be asking, what does that mean? It says it's literally just the aircraft being made for the simulator platform. So what has been happening is that because 2024 is quote unquote new, we have been just porting some things over that supposedly work on the 2024 channel. And so it has been a long time coming. So this is supposed to be the 2024 version that is using all the bells and whistles for the 2024 platform. It looks pretty good. I did a test fly with it earlier today, and so just have some things here. Yeah, so looking at the aircraft, it looks pretty nice. You can see all the details in that, and that is pretty good. Hey, good afternoon, JD James. Welcome. Good to see you. Good afternoon to you. So when we look at the aircraft, it looks pretty nice where the details are concerned. I have not flown this airplane on the channel for a very long time, so I couldn't tell you. We'd have to look back on the older stream to see what the major difference is, but I can tell you right now, in terms of how it looks, the aircraft looks pretty nice, pretty nice. So we're going to take a couple flights with it, one going down and possibly coming back up, just so that we understand that this is a freeware aircraft. It is not payware. The A380 for indie builds is going to be coming out sometime pretty soon. We've already seen some previews of it, so look forward to that within probably a month or two. I don't know, I'm just saying that, so look for it in a few. JD James want me to fly to Antigua, and then they fire me because the aircraft can't fit, right? But hey, this is flight sim, so we can do whatever we want, right? Sure. So we could definitely fly to Antigua on another stream. But for that, we're going to be taking this 1 hour journey over to Muscat. So if you want to know what the flight is, just type exclamation route and you will see the flight plan for the seat if you want to come along. If you just want to chill out with us as we fly over to Muscat, that is quite fine as well. So feel free to pull up a chair, pull up your favorite blanket, pull up whatever you need to be comfortable. Just pull it up and we will head on our way. All right, let's get the aircraft started. I've already done all I need to do for the sim in terms of setup. I just need to get one car set and then be on our way. While we wait for that to happen, let's jump into the aircraft real quick. And I think I need to turn on one more. That should be fine. Apparently there is air traffic control in Dubai, so that should be fun. We got 57 minutes. Okay, no, that's not the correct time, guys. Remember I said I'm going to do this in the daytime so we can have some good views. All right, let's see what's going on here. Running. Let's get the aircraft. All right, so All right, cool. So let's get the battery 1 on, battery 2 on, essential battery on, and the AP battery coming on. Then we do exterior 2, then 1, and the aircraft comes to life. Auto on, crew, everything here is good. We'll leave those on for now till we get fuel boarded. Arm, auto, and we leave that off until we start boarding. And those two come on. Great. All right, cool. I think they're supposed to be 1, 3, 2, 4. I can't remember now. It's been a while since I've done this crap. There's a specific sequence that you have with the A380 that we're supposed to have, but I cannot remember it now. You probably look it up. All right, turn the brightness up for these. So that we can see a bit clearer on these screens. Let's get our OFB. So we're going UAE866, Airbus A380, and we're going from Dubai to Muscat. Level 230, passing is 50, airtime is 41 minutes, and this is our routing. And the 7 Foxtrot and Vix, then Lima 223 RDA, November 629 Musak, Tango 511 direct to Muscat, and we're going to be using ARAM. But we'll double check that once we get the weather. Our payload, we're going to have 473. That's a lot of people. It's going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the AFB to load so that we don't have that much import data. All right, so we have that sorted out. Close that. I'm trying to figure out why do I have this issue. Like, leave me alone. All right, let's see how far you can get with this. It is system eliminated. For the Airbus A380, I guess. But again, it's freeware, so I don't think they'll have all those things in there. All right, so let's go to our, let's sign in and see if there's anybody online. It is UAE866. Airbus A380. And the sub code is yeah, so we have the center controller on the offline. ATIS. So this should be interesting. Right. So let's do this fast. So that means it's going to be 8 minutes. All right, so let's get the fuel going. Do that fast as well. So 24,600, and we have 36,500 on board. That's why it's on the bill. All right, so we'll leave what we got on board. Let's go ahead and start boarding, just so that we can get that completed. So we can do that in 8 minutes and a couple seconds. All right, cool. So So we can turn all these on now. And zip aside, start the AP. That's what we like to see when it comes to an early morning sun. That's a beautiful picture right there. All right, so I will open up the door. I will do it just so we can see what it looks like. See that? While that is happening, let's go down to the FMC. Now, for those persons who would have seen the tutorial I did on this aircraft, there's also the A350. So if you're familiar with the A350, then this will look familiar. However, everything doesn't work like it would in the A350 because it is freeware. They're working on several things, so over time this will become available, we hope. So it will take some time. So once the A380 comes out for any builds, it's going to be a bit more in-depth, similar to the A350. So we can definitely look out for that. So we're going to request the information that we have, which is the sim brief information, to see if this works. If not, we just have to input it manually. Receive, and we insert it. Cool. So UAE866 from, oh, look at that, we just lost center. Oh well, perfect. Guess it's just me and you guys. So we're going from Dubai to Muscat, flight number 230, and costing this is 50. Cruise temperature is -31. And we do econ mode. All right, so let's go to our departure. The weather, as we saw earlier, let's see what the weather is like. Weather says 190 at 6, so our departure should be from runway 12 right. Let's take a look at So what's happening here is that this version of the A380 that they just released has the Lido charts in it. So let's see, Navigraph, there we go. So let's go from here. I'm more familiar with the Navigraph. The Lido charts actually look good, but the Navigraph is what I'm familiar with. So let's stick with that so that I can do this quicker. I'll show you the difference once we get airborne. All right, so airport. And the departure today is the Anvik 7 Foxtrot. Let's double check that since we're going out of runway 12. Okay, so it should be probably the 5 Gulf. Let's see if that's off of runway 12. Yeah, so it's a 5 Gulf since we're using runway 12. Let's see what our files look like. So push back runway 12 right for departure, which is right there. So that's a pretty easy departure. Right, cool. So runway 12 right using the Anvix 5 Gulf, and we insert that. Go to Muscat. The weather for Muscat wind variable at 2. TAF says that winds will be calm 040 at 10. So that means, look at the airports. We have 08 left and 08 right, so we can take 08 left. Arrival is 08 left. ILS, and there's no star. And here's the Muscat one, so we have to check that. But the approach, ILS 08 left. From Bobble, do that. So via Bobble. And then we can double check. Do go with plan mode and let's scroll through. This is a bit different. In the A350 I could use this scroll wheel to move through. Alright, so moving through here, the discontinuity is that bubble. Alright, so from music, how do I do this again? I don't remember. To scroll through one by one. There we go. Alright, so from music direct to bubble. Alright, so we're going to leave the discontinuity in there, and here's the reason why. If for whatever reason there's a traffic control that comes online, at least I have the Muscat VOR in there. So the Muscat VOR is in there, and I could definitely just go direct to bubble from USUC. Is that it? Yeah, from USUC and then to bubble, and that would just give me my arrival. So that checks out. We're good to go. Let's look at the chart real quick. And generally, guys, I would use GSX to board, but 400 and something people on board, yeah, we're not going to be able to finish anytime soon. We want to get airborne. So we're already boarded now, so that's cool. So they're just waiting on the old slowpoke captain to get everything set up in the FMC. All right, great. So flight plan is done. We can import the secondary, the active, and when we go to the flight plan, let's see. We do okay. There's no, I can't do that. That's crazy. What's going on, David? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Insert new waypoint. I should be able to do a, oh, new destination. There we go. So new destination, actually, let's do it right after this waypoint. So, okay, it doesn't give me that. Great. New destination here. And it's going to be Omdb. And let's do ILS runway 12 left. So if we have to come back, that's all set up. Star none and via none. So in the event we have to do a return, that's in the secondary, so we can simply just do a direct and rear fire. Good. So that's set up. So that's something that they would have added to the new aircraft or to the revised A380. I'm actually not using the stable version, so that's probably why I was getting that memory issue, because I'm using the developer, there we go, the developer version of the aircraft, which has bugs as they try to update it. So they're just adding new things. So that's probably why we're having that memory leak as it is right. All right. So we'll see that go. I guess I just got to stay in the flight deck for most of them. All right, cool. So let's go to our back to the flight deck. All right, cool. So active, let's go to our fuel. Come on, give me a break, give me a break, give me a break. There we go. Set yourself, set yourself. So let's get some information here. How's your fuel weight for this flight? Is 349.2. So we type that 349.2. And our CG, we get that from our payload, and that's 34.6. So 34.6. And our block fuel is 36.5. So our takeoff weight is 384.2. A little different from here, but it'll work. So return, and we'll now go to our flight plan from SimBrief, which will give us our zero fuel weight, our takeoff speeds, so runway 12 right, and it is dry, calm winds pretty much. So flex 65, 142, 145, 150. So flex 65, 142, 145, 150. And we're using flat. $34. All right, so we are good to go. Let's go back to our primary flight plan. All right. So for our departure today, our top altitude is 4,000. Cool. we'll give ourselves a squawk code. 2121. We'll set that to auto. And let's now go to our checklist. So gear pin, the covers remove, fuel quantity is 36.5. Super size on by reference is 0997. And sets. Alright, let's get our doors closed. Ground power, since we're now on APU. Cable sign coming on, beacon sign coming on. We can remove the ground power and we can do the next checklist. And that is the before start. Parking brake is set. Take our speeds is 142, 145, 150. Checked, beacon light is on, checklist is complete. And let's call GSX. It is possible that once we push off the gate and get out of this airport, it's a pretty intense airport as well, that should allow for us to be able to have some better head. Interesting enough, my memory is not totally 181%. CPU is at 107%. Not sure why I'm getting GPU is GPU is 62%. Memory at 80. CPU at 64. We should be fine. But once we get out of here, we should be okay. Alright, let's see what's happening here now. GSX. GSX doesn't want to leave. What are you waiting for? Nope. The GPU needed to be dismissed.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
People on the camera, so I would need to make sure I make some announcements. Let's see if I can hear us.
Lock in gear.
That has that. Yeah, for such a big airplane, of course. All right, here we go. We're gonna do nose. Why is that thing so big, by the way? Let's see what's going on here. We want to go nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Dubai traffic radio check.
5 sir.
I guess very kindly. Dubai traffic, good day. Emirates 866 Super push off of stand Foxtrot 20 for runway 12 right departure. Right, so parking brakes gonna be released now, and we will start timer.
Engines clear. Start at will.
For the A350, the engine start would be actually down here, but for the A380, it is in the overhead panel, so we turn it to on, and we start 3-4 and then 1-2. So let's start engines 3 and 4.
Cherry Emirates 440, heavy IFR, A350 900, wind starts in Bravo 22, sail to the east, contact 0.30. Goodbye.
Is the active 30 or 12?
I mean, the winds are for 30, so I guess it's 30 Emirates 16. 30 are active.
Roger. Alright, so there we go. 30, so we got it now reprogram. That's how it goes sometimes. So we got to reprogram the FMC now for 30 departure.
Please set parking brakes.
So far departure. Parking brake is set, and we're gonna start engine number 1 and 2. So 30 left for departure.
For traffic, which one departure runway is?
The bad traffic, as said before, it's runway 30, that is in US Emirates 163.
Alright,
Thanks.
and that's 30 right for departure, correct?
Yes, remember, the always 3 sitting all right, the right runway for departure, and the left is always for arrival.
Roger. Alright, so
Disconnected.
there we go. So that's now sets and sets.
Left is clear.
There should
Right
be a
is clear.
discontinuity. Yes. So we need to remove this discontinuity. Delete and insert. Great. So double checking our flight plan, just to make sure that there's no discontinuity with our flight plan as we depart. Great. Discontinuity remain before we land in Muscat. Cool. So that's set up. And I need to double check our two 145 and 150, and that sets. Great. And our flex temperature is 65. Need that energy departing for this flight. Okay, so we pushed the wrong direction now, so we're gonna have to make a right turn and go down. I guess we're on Zulu. Let's see what the taxi looks like. Right, here we go. So we push onto Zulu off of Foxtrot 20, so we make Kilo, and then we would take Kilo down to runway 30 right. So we will cross runway 30 left at Kilo 12 and over to 30. Engine start is complete, and we can remove our APU. Anti-eye is not required. Pitch trim is already set. Rudder trim is neutral. After structure is complete. Let's run so flaps 1, spoilers is go. In the overhead compartment, we have the intersection going to normal, then we can do more checks. So rudder left, rudder right. You see that here on the cam display. Fully left, fully right. You can also watch me see that the actual stick movement and the cross in PFD. Fully up, fully down.
Yankee, Kilo, Lima 4, Mike 14 Alpha, Ultimate Runway 30 right to bind.
Dubai traffic, camera 8656, short final runway 30 left.
Traffic, come on, that's in up. Flight controls are checked, flap settings 1+F, radar is on, seatbelt signs on, ground spoilers on arm, flaps take off 1+F. The take off RTO, auto brake RTO, and let's test the config. This has got the worst stream that I've ever had. With the what's going on here? What's the problem? Trim disagree. 35.7. 35. Good. So let's double check that takeoff config. Takeoff config nor that's checked, and we are good to go. Perfect. This aircraft is really using a lot of our system resources. It's crazy. All right, and even with me doing frame rate generation with lossless scaling, this is when I did the test flight earlier. I did it in Miami, and I didn't have this problem. I guess because I'm also streaming with OBS, but that's what's causing. But it is what it is. And let's see. By traffic, United, I'm sorry, Emirates 866 Super Taxi, runway 30 right via Kilo 12, cross runway 30 left, Mike 15, full short runway 30 right. Dubai traffic. Alright, so let's get out of here. Let's see if this frees up. So we have our nose gear coming on, and we turn off.
Traffic, Emirates 163 Heavy is going to be pulling back from Foxtrot True to face towards the south, correction, yeah, northeast and northeast. Dubai traffic. Emirates 440 again. Just hold your push back off Foxtrot 2, I'll be taxiing behind you in about 20 seconds. Yeah, that's a bit late for that call already pushing up.
Emirates 656, runway 30 left, vacate.
Jets. That's a 359 there. Dubai traffic Emirates 866 Super holding position for the Emirates just exited 30 left. All the PVR you see aircraft looking pretty good. I actually like it. It's really, really nice. It's a 777. I thought that was an Airbus. Okay. So we can continue our taxi. Emirates 866 Super, continue taxi via Kilo. Left on Kilo 12, crossing runway 30 left. Emirates Dubai traffic. So it seems once I'm not near the terminal, because the scenery as well is pretty heavy. Once I'm not near the terminal, it should be fine because I'm holding steady at 26 frames. But it is what it is. Let's see what happens when we get airborne if we still have these stutters, because this is different from you guys. I left this sort of stuff in P3D. I'm not sure what's happening. Not even in 2020 I had this problem, but we'll see what happens. Well, this is Kilo 7, Kilo 8. You guys see the stutters as well on the stream, right? Okay, if it's smooth, that's cool. I'm happy to see that, but over here it is stuttering.
And Dubai traffic, Orange 163 is going to be taxi runway 30 right via Yankee, then on to Lima 3, then on to Mike, down to Mike Alpha 13 for runway 30 right, Dubai traffic.
Alright, cool. 1, 2. Don't tell me that you're trying to turn there too. Come on, my guy. Come on, my guy. Give him a little slap. I don't know what. Sometimes people just don't say things because he sees me taxiing. I've said it out, made the call. It is what it is. Sometimes people, man. Dubai traffic, Emirates 866 Super left on Kilo 12, cross 130 left. over the 30 right via mic 15. Alright, so strobes coming on, landing lights coming on. As we cross runway 30 right, direction 30 left. Clear right, clear left.
Dubai traffic, Emirates 9 Papa, 10 miles manual, 30 left, Dubai.
Dubai traffic, Emirates 866 Super, clear runway 30 left. Nobody told me I did the wrong thing. All right, cool. So this is supposed to be this page 142 145 and 115. So where's that? Since we're up, the lights already set. Let's go ahead and go into position. Dubai traffic, Emirates 866 Super line of runway 30 right at Mike 15. So far departure, we're going to be using
Dubai traffic, Emirates 9 Papa, short final, 30 left, Dubai.
line up. Takeoff runway is 130 right, confirmed. Cabin crews advised, and max 1 and 2 on. This is complete. Dubai traffic, the Emirates 866 Super takeoff runway 30 right via the Anvik 7 fast route departure. Dubai traffic. Alright guys, let's go. We are rolling. Start the chrono.
Have a nice flight, mate.
Thank you, sir. Where's that? Manflex 66 SRS runway auto thrust is blue. Try to keep the center line here. 80 knots.
V1.
Rotate. Over rotate. Ah, come on. overdo the movements right now because of this constant jitter. Dubai traffic unit, Emirates 866 Super, clear the runway past at 1,200. Climbing 4,000 feet via the Advix 7 functional departure. Dubai traffic last call. Climb first.
Traffic Emirates 388 will be pushing now to get.
What is this rule? Oh. Did I already have that? Ah, TR. Perfect. So now we're smooth enough that we're not jittering anymore, guys. There we go. There is the majestic beast. Alright, let's get up now to flight level 230. Collapse 1. Speed check. And let's get the autopilot in. Perfect. Alright, so the aircraft itself is what's causing all these issues with the development side. You're not moving, the earth is moving. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this thing is just so huge, man. So the aircraft, it's in development, but it's not the stable version of the airplane. So what I might have to do if I'm going to do another flight with this aircraft, I'm going to have to downgrade to the stable version. That way it should not give me all these issues in terms of the constant sticking. This is just this, yeah, not made for the best at all. But we're airborne, so we're good to go for now. Alright, so coming up to 6,500, and we're following the flight path, and we have some speed restrictions. So the next speed restriction is 230, so we're going pretty slow. We can disable the arm speed brakes. Famous tree that we see here, and there's one of the tall buildings, the palm tree islands that are over here. So yeah, we couldn't see this if we were going to do this in the night, so we had to make sure we do this in the daylight so we can get all of the scenery in. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful plane? And that's a picture right there. So we have smooth flights right now, simply because we're out of that airport. So the airport itself is Indigo's Dubai airport. That is resource intensive because of the aircraft. And then we also have this particular airplane because it's in development mode. It is, I think it is the 8K version. I think it's the 8K version, so just past 10,000 feet. So let's get our landing lights off before my VA screams at me. So landing lights off, nose light off, wing light off, and we're good to go. Great. passing 11,000 feet. Now, what is the... Oh, 13,000 is the transit altitude. So passing 13,000 feet, we will then go to standard. Right, so I was saying that the airplane itself is an 8K. So it causes the resources to just be used up because of all whatever they're doing with the aircraft as it is right now is why we have these different these issues with the frame rate. Otherwise than that, you guys have seen the other streams, so 130 standard set, and we'll continue to climb up to 530. Once the A380 comes up for any bills, I don't have challenges with the A350 like before, especially with 2024. So once that comes out, we'll buy that up and get it in the hangar, and we'll be able to see it. Now, again, for those of us who are wondering how it's different in a sense, the airplane operates slightly different in terms of the flight management computer and so on. It's pretty similar, so it should not be quite a learning curve. Once you can fly the fly-by-wire A380, you should be able to deal with the A380 who comes out for any bills. Similarly, because I had a little know-how with the A380, I was able to fly the A350 with minimal problems. So feel free to look at the tutorial that's there, and you'll be able to get an idea as to how to fly the aircraft. There are also some live flights for the A350 as well, so you will see how that's done, and you can compare the two. Again, once you learn one, you should be able to breeze through the other one with ease. Passing flight level 160 up to flight level 230. It's a pretty short flight, 41 minutes airtime. So we're going up to cruise altitude right now, and we're gonna enjoy the outside view. Big whale is what they call it. Flying across the desert. I remember flying on the A380 between, where did I go? From Thailand to Doha, and I sat on the right side downstairs. So let's take a look downstairs and see how that looks. These wings are so huge. Anybody that wants to sit in the A380, I would advise you either sit ahead of the wing or behind the wing, because imagine, okay, we're gonna go outside for a second. Imagine that you are flying on the A380. Look at the size of this wing. Now you're sitting on one of these windows. You can't see a thing. You barely get to see outside because of the size. He said, all right, rich boy. I'd advise you to sit at the forward of the wing, forward of the engines if you're, I mean, if you're rich enough to sit up top, like James over here. JD seems to be the rich one, so he will sit up top. But where are we? There we go. Oh, went too far. So right about here is good. We could actually see something of the wing, and you can actually still see outside. Otherwise than that, you're not seeing anything. Yeah, you. You're the rich one, yes. Sit forward of the wing or after the wing. And then look how far below you are where you're sitting. These wings are so huge, my guys. Sitting upstairs, you have a better vantage point in terms of how you look outside. But again, even at how you check how, for a window lover like myself, sitting here, I'd kind of be annoyed. Let me see what happens at the back. The next seat. So the space between the seat, and the rest of the cubicle, if you want to call it that, you have to put yourself so close to the window, and they're so small, to try and see outside of the window. I mean, this plane is a beautiful plane, yes, but imagine trying to okay, so that's fun. This might be the better place to be rather than in the suites. But again, you're sitting almost on top of the wing, and these small windows are giving you not much of a view outside, unless you want to sit on the wing and become bye-bye birdie to be able to see so well. But they are so huge. Still a beautiful plane though. Still a beautiful plane. If you ever get a chance to fly on the A380, you should. You definitely should. Alright. It is 7.1, which is going to be 0.71 rather, is our speed right now. Ground speed is 464. We have 199 nautical miles to go. So let's go ahead and get our information for our arrival. So we are not using an arrival into Muscat this evening. We'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind. Elon Musk. Yeah, you gotta talk to Elon Musk and see if you can get some help from him. Alright, so we're going to get that back here, and we're going to our Muscat. So we're going to be using the Aylex 8 left arrival, and since we are doing we're not doing an arrival, we're not using a star, so we're going to go direct from Muscat to Bubble, which will line us up with our runway rather than going directly to the Muscat VRAM and then come back around. Just makes life shorter for us. Let's see what the stars look like. Not that we'll use any of those anyways. Those are coming from the east. None of these will work. Perfect. Those are coming from the south. Alright, so none of these will work, so we're just going to go direct to the Bubble intersection. So now that we have no ATC online, we're going to remove the Muscat intersection, remove the discontinuity, then insert that. We had 199 just now, and it's now down to 132. Then we need to cross Bubble at 8,000, and that is what the chart says, 8,250, and a Bubble here is now 8,218. Let's make sure that we have the speed constraint of 220. That way we will be very well set. And as the airplane is telling us, let's get our destination performance check. So we are now 45 nautical miles from our top of descent. Crazy. Alright, so let's get the weather. weather in Muscat is variable at, wow, so it's 2:30 at 4. I don't think there's anybody going into Muscat this evening. Is there? Let's see. No. So we're gonna take 8 left. I don't feel like doing all of that going around. Alright, so wind is calm pretty much, so it shouldn't be a problem. 240 at, what is it? 240 at 230 at 4. So let's change that. 230 at 4. Temperature is pretty hot, 36 degrees, and the altimeter is 0996. And then for our arrival, our decision height is 229. So we put 229 here, 229, and we're gonna add 5 to this, so that's 1. VRAM plus 5 is 144, and it sets. Great. So our performance is complete, and we're now 33 nautical miles out. And to ensure that we have a nice smooth descent, we're gonna begin descending in 3 nautical miles. Once we cross Nazmi, we'll begin our descent to have a nice smooth descent down to Muscat. So we do a managed descent, so do 1,000 feet per minute thereabout. Now while we get that set up, let's do our arrival so we can do our brake to vacate. So let's begin our descent now. Why is it not? Let's go plan mode. Let's go through. Import select. There we go. OMS. Display report. Great. See, again, I forgot how to do this. In the A350, it would have come up automatically. So let's see. There we go. So let's go back to a little bit like that. We're doing 8 left. So we'll select 8 left. And then we will move to the Yankee 5. And that is provided that we land where we're supposed to land. Yeah, that should be fine. That high speed turn off brake, so then we set brake to vacate, and that's set. And then we can go back to arc, and there we go. Great. So let's double check now our arrival. So the airport and parking set. Alright, cool. So we're landing on 8 left, which is 13,000 feet, and we're vacating via Yankee 5. Then we taxi to any parking stand that's closest to us, so that we can call that a flight. Probably take 203 or 202, whichever one is quite fine. So Yankee 5, then via what is that? Victor, then take Victor to Uniform Echo to 203. Alright, so for the arrival briefing, we are taking the Aylex runway 08 left, 108.9, approach course is 083, decision height is 2200, elevation is 49 feet. And as depicted, we'll take us straight in. We have to be mindful of the antenna that's below there, but we should be pretty high at 8,000 feet crossing Kubo. And then we have Aylex, join the localizer, and then we land on runway 8 left. We are a super, so pretty heavy coming into the airport. So once we hit the touchdown zone, pray for me for that. And then we exit off of Yankee 5, we taxi to the right. No other issues with the airplane. We should be good to. What is that? 00996 is what we had. And that's just what it's back sets. One issue, it's too. Yeah, the plane is a big plane, man. It's not too bad. Outside. Oh, I was going to show you guys something. Yeah, nice picture right here. So the difference between the leader charts and the navigram. So let's look at that. So the information that's here is easily that you can read it to see star, approach, taxi, SID, and reference. But in the Lido, you have to know what the, and I don't remember what these mean. Airport, ground, something, I can't remember. So once you get accustomed to using the Lido charts there, they actually look better in my opinion. So let's see. Let's look at the airport AGC. Yeah. So see, this is a lot better aesthetically in terms of landing, but it's just gonna take a little getting used to. And these charts are in meters versus feet. But I'm just so accustomed to using the depths and charts, so just makes it easier for me. Alright, Saber sign has been on, so we don't have to worry about that. There's some company message. Let's see. Message required. Messages not connected. So what is that? I don't know why there's a company message. None of these are implemented. So what is our company message? It is what it is. Approach bar reference is set, Saber side is on, minimum is set to 10, auto brake BTV is set, and checklist is complete. One of the things that we do with flying is that we do not, okay, so the checklist is supposed to be done after you've done what you're supposed to do. So if you check real world pilots, they will tell you, again, I'm not a real world pilot, I'm a virtual pilot, just been flying for a very long time, and they will tell you you're supposed to do so flows. So you know what you're supposed to do, and the checklist is just checking that you've done it. So I did the approach, I checked all of that, I did the approach page of the aircraft, make sure the information is in there, and once I'm completed, then I go to the checklist, and it's just to double check. So the bar reference has been set, seatbelt sign is on, minimum has been set, auto brake has been set, BTB, and so the checklist is complete. Let's go down to 8,000 feet. These lights, which is not turned on. Middle one is what I need to turn up and that. There we go. That's 108.9 and of course is 3. Let's double check that. And that's cross check. So now we're descending to bubble and we're descending below the transition level. So local altimeter is set 0996. Oscar traffic. Emirates 866 Super is out of 2000 for 8,000. We are 21 miles from bubble to join the localizer for runway 08 left. Right, on the landing system. And let's see, so it is a few miles from bubble, 25 miles from MCT. So once we cross bubble, it's supposed to be 25.7 nautical miles from the Muscat VOR. So we verify that once we cross bubble. So we're 17 from bubble, descending to that. I'm going to actually begin slowing down now to 240 knots. I'm going to do an open descent. Yeah, James, it's a very, very quick flight. We've been flying for 28 minutes. We got off the gate 46 minutes ago. So quick flight, quick flight. Let's get some speed breaks coming out. So we can get back below the, so this green dot is telling us that we are below the, sorry, we're above the path, which means we need to get down under that or to be on path with it. So we can see the same thing here. We are below, we are actually above the altitude we need to get at. So we're getting up to flight level to 240 knots, and then we're going to descend now a little bit. We're going to increase the rate of descent so that we can get back on path. Oh wow, poor Earth had a big spin. So I'm gonna leave the spoilers out so we can actually go below the actual path. That way we can definitely slow down a bit more once we get closer to bubble. Right, so we're just above, we're getting back on path now. Bring back the speed just a little bit. 10 knots. Yeah, we can slow this. Bring back the speed to 220. 210. And so now we are just below where we need to be, which is fine. So we'll now be able to slow down without trying to do a breakneck descent. So you want to try to be as much as possible on path, but you start to descend a little bit earlier just so that you can allow for the aircraft to do a smooth descent to about 1,000 feet. Remember, passengers' ears are going to be popping, so you don't want it to be a situation where you're popping these your passengers' ears like crazy trying to jet down at 3,000 feet per minute unless it's absolutely necessary. So we're starting on to 212. We are at 8,000 feet now. I am going to allow it to continue to descend 1,000 feet per minute just so we can get this down to 200 knots. And we're now 26 miles from our airport. So once we cross boated, I'm going to arm the localizer. All right, open descent. And we'll arm the localizer. Loc star. So localizer is captured. And we continue our descent down to 4,000 feet. MDA here is what? 9,000 to the south, and what is that? 090, so between 090 and 180, 2,500. We're on a heading of 080, so we are good to go down to 3,000. We are a bit high above the glide. So let's get some speed brake out. Speed check flaps 1. So speed brakes coming out. It lack above 3,400 feet, so continue descend and we'll slow to 180, and now we are just about on the glide path. The approach. Glide slope is captured. Stow the speed brake. Ding the cabin. Landing lights coming on, opening lights coming on. And we're now 14 miles out. Flaps 2, speed check. Muscat traffic, Emirates 866 Super is 13 miles on the Aylex runway 08 left, Muscat traffic. At 10 miles out, we will drop gears. And let's set this now to 6,000. Run the final check. Zipper signs, check, landing gear is now coming down. These massive landing gears, man. Arm speed brakes. And let's go ahead and do flaps 3, speed check, and final approach speed. Muscat traffic. Emirates 866 Super is 8 miles, final runway 0 left to Muscat.
2,500.
Check. Flaps full. And checklist, seatbelt sign on, landing gear down 3 green, spoilers, arm flaps is full. Landing checklist is complete. Should I do auto land or you want me to land the plane? I beg no hard landing or else the kind of Come on, JD, why you doing me like that, man? Alright, so 500 feet, I will call my airplane and let's land this bad boy. Again, this aircraft is pretty finicky where I have to make subtle movements, or else if I overdo it, it's gonna be we're gonna have to go around, and I don't want to have to go around at all. Check.
Above.
Check.
Minimum. $50, $40, $30, $20. Retard. 5.
Rebakes up. Decel. Manual braking.
Auto brake on.
Yeah. Going on. I can't get to turn the aircraft, guys. Look at that. I'm turning and it's not turning. That's crazy. I'm even trying to use my rudder pedal and I'm not getting any movement. That is crazy. Oh. This aircraft does not want me to do it. What's going on? What's going on? I am turning this airplane and it's not turning. This is madness. my goodness. Let's see if I can do it this way. Oh, I see what happened. My engine shut off. That's madness. That is crazy. So I lost hydraulics on that. That's interesting, guys. So I gotta wait till the APU comes back on. Oh my goodness. JD says I just got the plane and broke it. That's crazy. That's weird. Okay, once the APU comes up, let's see if I can restart. This is crazy. APU is available. Let's do the APU bleed coming on. And let's start the two engines. If it was on start. Alright, there we go. Is it gonna start? Okay, they're starting. Why is it not showing that? I broke the airplane, guys. This is crazy. Okay, here we go. Now we have engine start. Using money to fix it? Which money? This has never happened to me before. Okay, so it's available. Let's see if I get... Now I can turn the airplane. That's crazy. Alright, here we go. So that was the problem. So I wasn't able to do anything because hydraulic was lost. So steering was also gone. Oh my goodness. JD, can you behave, please? Okay. Alright, so let's come off of the runway, and then we will do a review of that landing. Muscat traffic, Emirates 866 cleared of runway 08 left. Well, not entirely, but we'll get there. Okay, that is crazy. So we'll come to a stop here. I'm going to end my flight. I can file that. And then let's watch the replay on this. So let me set this up so I'm not following. So I'm right here. Alright, so I'm gonna come off of the don't want to get in trouble for that. Recording. Way back. Way back. There we go. So let's check out how that landing was. What the? Oh shoot. There we go. And we see why we use Boeing. Okay, so I did not press play. I didn't press play on the replay stuff, so the aircraft just literally just freeball. Okay, so yeah, let's look at that. Doesn't look too bad on the arrival in terms of the approach looks pretty good. So I was off the center a little bit and then playing bouncy with the airplane. Ah. Let's see it. Let's see that again. So I would need to make sure. So again, for this airplane, more specifically, it is, I guess the controls, I need to set the controls a particular way so that it is not as twitchy, because you have to make fine movements as you're coming in for final, or else you're going to end up with over correcting, and that could cause your airplane to just do the most. So the first flight that I did when I was landing in Miami, it wasn't as bad. This one is a lot better. It was worse than this one that I did. I was way off to the side, but this one is a little bit better, where I still managed the airplane, but this bow peeping back and forth, this kind of oscillated thing, is not where we want to be doing it. Let's see it from on the wing. Bobbing and weaving left and right, trying to correct. I guess it wouldn't be too bad, but it could be better. Could be better. And that's touchdown. Could be better. Realize why is it that the spoilers are still up. Not bad, not bad, not bad, but could be a lot better. So it just means we gotta fly this airplane a little bit more to make sure we get it. It's a big airplane, the big bird, So just gotta make sure that you handle it pretty well. If anybody that likes to fly the A350, the A380 rather, feel free to get it. It's if you're on 2024, you are able to pick it up on FLYBYWIRE's website and even their app, and you just install it so that you have access to it. So let's watch this last landing here, and then we will. Where's my? There we go. And then we'll taxi to the gate and park and call it a night. I suppose once the A380 comes out for any bills, that the flight dynamics will probably be a little bit different, probably a little bit better, because they have the resources to do that. I would not discredit the fly-by-wire A380 because it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So it's just a matter of getting the A380 from Inibills, since they would have already had the A380, the A350. Let's see what's happening here now. So the same thing happened again, where my so this, I guess this is also my, what you call it now. There's an issue with one of my controllers where it's not actually doing what it's supposed to do. So it seems to be cutting out there. Nevertheless, we'll work with it. We'll work with it. Oh wait, the checklist is here. Oh, I didn't realize that. Cool. Clear all of that. And we have, let's see if we can get, so we're starting our engines, trying to get to the gate. You see why I felt the shaking here? Oh my goodness. Come on, A380. There we go. Engines are available. We're just gonna whip this around and get to one of those gates, and we'll call this flight a day. Perfect. So let's go now. Alright, let's see what gate we're gonna go to. Not sure why this is like this. So take this next left right here, and we'll park at this gate, and that will be the end of tonight's flight. parking brake is set. APU is available. And we can shut down. Now would be interesting to shut down. And we can stop it. Back into this one. Nah, man. Okay, so that was one of the most interesting flights that I could tell you that I've had on the sim. It's been crazy. You remember to put the flaps on. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed the aircraft itself, though. It was quite a flight. And this is the new... Okay. Guess I'm not at the airport. I'm not at the gate. Just walk. There we go. And let's operate that. Ain't going nowhere all year. Oh wow. So now that went to the top. This is just a weird flight. Weird flight. Look at this now. It's this. Anyways, guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining on this trip. I am not sure what's going to happen in terms of the next flight that we do. I'm going to have to downgrade to the more stable version when I'm doing a stream with this flight, with this aircraft again. Nevertheless, if you appreciate the content that you saw today, I would appreciate a like or a thumbs up. And also subscribe if you haven't already done so. And make sure you hit the notification bell the next time that we go live. You would not miss it. There's also Discord available. Feel free to sign in with the Discord and make yourself at home. Until the very next time, I hope that you have an enjoyable rest of your week and have a good night. See you.